Okay, I'm going to show you how simple it is to make a dress. I still got a little clip on here. With just a bed sheet, an old bed sheet, and a table runner. First of all, you want to make sure that your table runner is, you don't really need the table runner, but it makes it nice. So you want to make sure your table runner is long enough to fit around your bust and be able to be put together in the back. Now, if it's a little short, it's okay because these things got lots of holes in them, so you can get a nice piece of lace and just lace it up in the back. So if you're a little bit larger and you just need to come around to here, say, and then you can lace it up and it'll be fine. So that goes over top of the dress. And what you do is you take your bed sheet, and this is a really old organic cotton bed sheet. It's so old it's like full of holes, but that's okay because it's dead center to sheet. Usually that's where the holes get anyway. So you take your sheet and you can play around with the bottom of it, like the length that you want. You don't need to be really particular when you fold it in half, how the bottom falls. Like if you want it more straight, you can fold it almost entirely in half. If you, like that. If you want it more, just more flowy, you can fold your sheet anyway, like pull up on one corner. That's what I'm trying to do here. And then you'll have more of a V come down in the center there. So for this time I'm just going to make it a little more straight on the bottom. I'm still going to show 2 layers. Okay, so I'm showing 2 layers here, and it's just folded in half. So now what I'm going to do is just let it drape over your bust. Just fold the center of the sheet. Okay, all that old dirty old stuff, torn up stuff. Fold that over top of your bust like that, and bring the sheet around your back. So you want to pull it as tight as you want the dress, and bring the sheet around your back. Make sure it's sort of centered so both sides fall nicely. Like that. And then just take it together in the back where you want it to fall. And I have these little hair clips that I use instead of pins. See, you can probably just leave it like that if you want to just put some beads on it or whatever. But, so you take your hair clips, or you can use pins or whatever, and just pin it where you want it to hold. Once you have it exactly where you want it, you can get your little doily and put that over the bust part and bring that in. And bring that around. So once you pin it together there, just need a bigger, you can adjust your lace over top of it, bring it back together again, where you want it to fall. Once you have everything adjusted where you want it, takes just a little bit of fooling around, you'll see that it's open in the back, so that's not very good. So you want to come just down past your bum and haul out some of the interior part of the fabric. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. And then you're going to just take one of these little clips and you're going to pin it there, because then you'll know that that's where you'll need to sew. So that's the only sewing you're going to do. You're going to sew from this part right here up to the center of the back. You're just going to sew that together, unless you want to wear leggings or something underneath it. You're just going, and then you wouldn't need anything but just sewing a button right here where my fingers are, or else you can use a nice brooch and just get somebody to pin it together for you, and you don't have to sew at all. But if you're going to not wear pants underneath, you're going to need to just sew this little strip right here. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to take the lace off now. I'm going to bring this back around. find the point with my finger where I'm going to have to put a button. Then I'm just going to literally just grab it, keep your hand here, and slip it off. So now you know that this is the bust part of your dress. This is where your button's going to go, where you kept your hand there. So from your button down to where you placed your little pin, you just take out the inside here. And you'll have a straight line of fabric about, depending on your size, this one's about 2 feet long. So you can just stitch this together, just literally just stitch it together. Or you can place little buttons all the way down if you prefer buttons. But it only takes like a few minutes to stitch this little tiny area together here. And then you can put your button like 2 inches above that. So what you would do if you're going to use a button, you're going to sew your button on the one side. You want one of those big pearl buttons, and then you're going to get a piece of like, say, yarn or something, braided yarn or something like that, and you're going to make a loop so it can go over your button. If not, if you don't want to sew on a button and you got a really nice brooch, well, instead of putting a button, you can just attach your brooch up there, close it over, and then you have you literally just iron this out, and you just step inside your dress. Very simple. You can put if you want to stitch your lace on, you can, again, so it'll stay put. So you'll just take it right around the edge, and you'll just stitch it down to your area where you're going to pin it together or have your button. Just going to stitch it around the upper edge, and that's it. You have your very simple, I mean, you could do this in an hour. If you have an hour, you can make a dress out of an old bed sheet and just a antique table runner, a brooch, a little bit of thread, or a button and a little bit of thread. And that's it. It's a pretty simple way. You don't need a machine. You don't need any talent to know how to sew. Just got to play around with it until you find where it falls on your body. And I also just did a little video I'm going to post after this one on dyeing a bath mat, which would also be good for this if you don't want to go out with a white dress on. You want a nice summer yellow dress. I'll show you how to, I'll just tell you how to dye it completely organically.